Hello and welcome back to Strand, and welcome to our first Mobile Monday, where I'm going to be reviewing a mobile game every week on a Monday. I've started with the Room epilogue. This is the first of 4 Room games. What I've done is I've recorded the tutorial for the Room 1 and the Room 2 on my phone. I'm using a Samsung S9, if any of you are interested to see what it was recorded on. Yes, I'm going to go through the tutorial of the first 2. I've picked this to start with because The Room is one of, if not my favourite game I've played on Android. I like to play the odd casual game on Android because, let's be honest, most of us use our phones to play games when we're on the bus, when we're in a passenger in a car. It's not something I play serious games on or put serious time into, but I like little casual games to keep yourself occupied when you're sat waiting in line for something, or when I'm sat around the house, I'll play a real game on the console, and I like to sit there and just play something on my phone. But all 4 of these games I would very much be likely to play just sat around the house, because I've loved every single one of them. The Room series is made by a company called Fireproof Games. I'll put a link to their website in the description so you can find links to all 4 games. But the Room series, they're escape style games. I like escape games, I like puzzly games, but the first one, the one that we're seeing now, the Room 1, revolves heavily around these puzzle boxes, and you have to move your way around the box, solve puzzles, find different keys to open different locks. Here we are, there's a key now. This particular key you can look at and alter. So I think I'm going to show you this now. Here we are. Look, if you click on the key, it will show you a close-up, and you can move the end to change the shape depending on the hole that you find on the box. It's a very satisfying game. It's very tactile, the way you swipe to move things around and open lids and spin keys and access locks, like that one there. It's all 4 of them are really good. This one is very heavily box orientated. When we get to the end of the tutorial, you see this box will open up, and inside there'll be a smaller box, and that will be the next level, or the first level after the tutorial, I guess. Level 1 will be another box, and that will open up, and there'll be another box, and there's a series of these boxes to solve, to find your way into. The second one's a little bit different, as are 3 and 4, but the second one, well, you'll see when we get there, it's set in a room, hence it's called The Room. This one's all set in a room as well, but obviously, just looking at one box on one table, in the future games you can move around the room a bit and go between different boxes or between different puzzles, and you might find a key in one area of a room and then have to go to a different area of the room to find the lock. It gets much bigger and much more in depth as the series goes along. Now, I was looking last night to try and find a price for these games for you. However, because I own all 4 of them, I couldn't find them on Google Play. What I did discover, however, is that it's now available on the Switch. Now, if that's all 4 of them that are available on the Switch, or just the first one, I don't know. So if you're interested in getting this on the Nintendo Switch, you can. If you'd like to take if you're one of these people that takes your Switch out with you and uses it at the bus stop or whatever, I do see them every now and then. Then yeah, this would be a good game to have on it, I suppose. However, you can also get it on your phone, and from what I have seen, it's going to be a lot cheaper to get it on your phone. I think it was £8 to get the first one on the Switch, whereas I think it's about 79 pence to get it from the Play Store. I don't know what it is on iOS, but it's currently available on Steam, iOS, Android, Amazon's App Store. I've got it on the Kindle, and it's also available on the Switch, or the first one is. I'll just check now to see if the others are, actually. This is the second one just starting up. The music for these games is fantastic. They're very atmospheric. They're very dark. They're not scary. They're just atmospheric. I played the third one a lot in the night before bed, and I'd have the music up because I love the music. But it is, it's very atmospheric and spooky, and perhaps not something people want to play before bedtime. But it's not scary. It's just dark. So there's lots of notes to read. There's lots of backstory and plot and lore behind the Room games. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't fully remember all of it. It's been a long time since I've played 1 and 2. Certainly number 4, which isn't called 4, it's called Room: The Old Sins if you're looking for it. So they're called the Room 2, the Room 3. The 4th one is called The Old Sins. The fourth and the third ones are considerably bigger than 1 and 2 in the way they're set out. So you can see here in the second one already there's 2 tables in this room, and there's different puzzle boxes on each. And you have to work your way back and forth things to find what you're looking for, and to find eventually your way out of this room into the next room. I'll be quiet for a minute so you can hear some of the clicking in there. Yeah, it's very satisfying the way things move around as you swipe on the screen. It works very well, it's very fluid, the noises are very satisfying. It's just an all-round joy to play. If you like puzzle games and you like escape games, this isn't one you can really miss out on. Because I love a standard point-and-click escape game, or one of these 100-door escape games where you have 100 floors and you have to work out how to open the door on each floor. But they're often very simple on mobiles. It's just tapping things. Maybe you tap and pick up an item, drag that item around the screen, but this is taking that to another level. It looks stunning, it plays really well. There's not much really I can say to fault the room at all, other than the fourth one, The Old Sins, don't remember that well. Seeing as I played that the most recently, worries me. The third one, really enjoyed. Set in a big mansion, and you can physically tap the exit of a room and go to the next room, and tap a door there and go to the next room and walk around. It's really good. The Old Sins, I can vaguely remember bits of. I know I really enjoyed it. They're all really good. I'm not saying it's not a great game. It's probably as good, if not better, than the third one. But the third one for me sticks out the most just because of the mansion setup and the way you get around the house. So yeah, this is the room. I'll let this play so you can have a look at the rest of the tutorial and see just what happens. But I'm going to take the last few minutes of my... Oh, so I'm just watching the puzzles. Just going to take the last few minutes to talk a little bit more about Mobile Monday, and what my plans are for the future. So I've done the room, and like I said, this is possibly one of my favourite ones. Now I'm not going to bother doing anything at the end of this video because there's no point. This is the first one. But in future videos, I'm probably going to start ranking these games and make a big list, and it'll probably end up in the description. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a random game every week. I'm going to do a little bit of screen capture of it, do a review over the top, let you know what I think. I'm not going to give it a star rating or anything like that, because I'll just tell you what I think of the game, explain what it's like, and if you fancy it, you can pick it up and try it. If you don't, then you know to avoid it. So I'm going to do a few games that I think are really interesting, really good. I'm going to try some ones that I know I won't enjoy, and what we'll do is we'll make probably a top and bottom 10 of my favourites. So as we go on now, next week, whatever game I decide to do, I will rank higher or lower than this. I won't give them a star rating. I'll just have a big list, and I'll go through it and say, right, this week I've played, I don't know, Candy Crush. Probably not going to play Candy Crush, but let's say I played Candy Crush. I'm going to go, right, well, Candy Crush, not as good as a room. I'm going to put it underneath. And then the following week, I might say, right, I've played Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, I like a lot. Probably don't like it as much as the room, but it's definitely better than Candy Crush. I'll stick that in the middle, and I'll update that list every week, so you can see which ones I think are the best, which I think are the worst. And I'll keep at the end a screen of the top 10 and a screen of the bottom 10, and everything else I'll probably keep the list updated in the video descriptions, but we'll see just how that works. Or I might just, anything that's not in the top or bottom 10, bin from the description. We'll find out. As I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the video description below for Fireproof Games, because it's a heck of a lot easier for me than putting in 20 different links, because obviously there's 4 different room games. I'm assuming each are available on 5 platforms. I don't know about the Switch. I don't know if The Old Sins is available on the Switch yet. Actually, do you know what? I've got my phone in my hand. Let's find out now very quickly. Let's see. Fireproof Games. The Room. Okay. Yeah, we know the room's available on the Switch. Is The Room 2, 3, and Old Sins available on the Switch? Let's find out. Games, Old Sins. Here we go. Old Sins isn't available on the Switch, and I don't think it's available on Steam either, by the looks of things. It's only available on the Apple Store, the iPhone App Store, Google Play or the Amazon App Store. It's not available on the Switch or on Steam. Let's check the others. The Room 3 is available on Steam, and the Room 2 is available on Steam. The only one on the Switch at the minute is the first one. Here we go, get to see a little bit of the creepiness of this game now. So what you'll see here is you get this door opening that will take you through to the next level, through to the next room. You can see all these black tentacles coming from the doorway. If you play the games and get a bit more into the lore of it, that's called the Null, and it's basically what's going on. That's the plot of the room. Is this entity called the Null, and it's all about researching that and your character getting dragged into the research of that by other people. Perhaps you didn't want to be there. You didn't really want to be in these mansions, in these rooms, looking for the Null, but you find yourself stuck there, and it's all about trying to escape. Yeah, so that's been the Room 1 and the Room 2. Again, link in the description below. If you like this video or any of our others, give us a like and a subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the room, if you've played it before, if you think you're going to try it out, having seen a little bit of it here. And I will see you next Monday for another mobile game. Thanks everyone, see you soon, bye!